Hi, I'm Eric Bjorn. Today I'm going to be reading to you from my book, Show and Tell at World's End, which you can find on Amazon. Show and Tell at World's End is one of 10 books that you can find that I have on Amazon. My favorite is Uber Nights. Show and Tell at World's End was a COVID diary that I published. During the COVID pandemic, I published all of my social media posts. I did little fireside chats for my community of followers and other things, and I wanted to create a COVID pandemic diary for the future so that other people could know what it was like for us to live through it. The irony is I have long-term COVID. I have pretty serious brain fog and chronic insomnia. Long-term COVID affects 17 million Americans already, and it has some pretty bad symptoms connected to it. And while many of us lost friends and family and loved ones during COVID, what we didn't know is that it would keep lingering in people's bodies for many years afterwards. So some of these passages are a bit ironic. I'm going to read my entry from May 2, 2000. It appears I may have said some rather odd things the past few days. They've been deleted. I am taking a new sleep medication which literally has a side effect of, you may not know you are having sex and driving a car while taking this drug. Not sure if that means at the same time. Oh, I didn't try that one. All the same. Apparently another side effect is making very intense theological statements on social media. I am never taking those pills again. I would rather have insomnia. Peace and light to you all. The irony is that I actually have chronic insomnia from COVID and I didn't know it at the time. I went nearly 4 years not having sleep 3 to 6 nights a week. It really damaged my life, but it's interesting to go back and see that entry from almost 5 years ago now, 4.5 years ago. I'm going to read another entry to you from April 8, 2020. Hello, time for yet another fireside chat with Eric. Bit of a bummer here at the long haul today. Death numero 2 in 2 weeks. Holy fudge. And guess what? Neither of them has a goddamn thing to do with coronavirus. Yes, my good buddy priest, the man to whom I gave my last confession, has died. He was only in his early 40s. He was a vibrant, energetic, powerful human being, and actually quite famous in his native European country. Yet now he's but a memory. Cue the seg. Meanwhile, nearly 500,000 Americans have contracted COVID-19. By the way, the capacity of Wembley Stadium is 90,000. Guess how many have died from COVID in our world so far? 88,538. Folks, we're getting close to standing room capacity. Today I was sad. I stayed in bed. Wednesday became a Saturday. Don't get me wrong, breakfast, lunch, and dinner were served. We went on a long late afternoon run, exercise was had, all obligations were met. But every spare moment of my day was just so sad. Oh wait, this completely outrageously cool thing happened, let me tell you. So I was going on my afternoon peripatetic, a bit of a daily Kantian excursion. And the most interesting triangulation occurred. Suddenly, 2 of my neighbors, I live in a very large apartment complex, who I had encountered silently for the past decade, suddenly converged. Bob is a 75-year-old African-American retired photographer. Stan is a 60-year-old gay computer programmer. Eric, me, is a 46-year-old kind of politician, librarian, weird dude. It was a dialogue Mexican standoff. Our paths happened to meet, and we couldn't find a way of getting around one another with the 6-foot rule and all. So we just started talking from a distance. And before you know it, we were chatting about national responses to 9/11 and how is your dog and this and that. And it was one of the most intensely intimate conversations I've ever had in my life. And I just wanted to hug both of these men, but couldn't. And then another father in the community showed up, and I told him about the time, tears streaming down my face, that his son put the chain back on my daughter's bike after she crashed. And folks, that's what matters right now. Community, community, community. I've spent half a decade of my life running for federal office, trying to make the world a better place, blah, blah, blah. But what I've come to realize is, in the absence of good and decent leadership, the people directly around you, including yourself, that's how we're going to get by. That's how we'll make it to the next generation and beyond. Give. Give all that you have to make this and the next moment better for all the people in your lives, in our lives. That's civilization. Peace, blessing, light, and all that jazz. And a special peace to the dearly departed soul of Father Marchant. Those are two of my entries from Show and Tell at World's End, which again is a COVID pandemic diary. Thank you for checking it out on Amazon, as well as my other books. Thank you.